podcast. Obviously, we're missing our D today. We were missing our J yesterday, but hey, the T is going to always stay the same. Uh, JP, how was your birthday yesterday, buddy? What'd you go do?
Oh, dude, it was great. I got to hang out with the family a little bit, get to a little Italian restaurant in kind of downtown Nashville a little bit,
What
just kind
restaurant?
of get um, Maggiano's.
Mm-hmm.
So
Man, I love that place.
little breakfast dinner, and it was really good.
Oh, it's so
So
good. You
then
bring
after
me
that,
any?
we went to Taco. Yeah, no, I ate it all.
Oh, work. I mean, you kind of got to. I mean, it was. Did you watch any last night?
I watched a little bit. I watched about the first 30 minutes of it. So
Yeah.
and then I saw I went 5-0 and the picks. So I was like, yeah, I got that in the bag.
Hey, like I told Dylan last night, buddy, greatness takes time, and eventually, one of these days, you guys are going to miss all your picks, and I'm going to hit them. I'm going to hit them right on the head, get them all right.
Yeah, I just don't think that's gonna happen.
No, probably not. But hey, we gotta we'll play with the cards that we get dealt, right? So
Hey, there you go.
so what you ready to get into some baseball talk and some hockey talk?
Yeah,
First
let's
time
get let's,
hockey's going to
let's
be
dive
mentioned on this
in.
podcast.
Yeah, it's hockey season. Let's get it.
All right, well we'll start with the MLB. What do you think of this week's all these weeks matchups so far? How do you think they're going?
You know, it's been a lot of good baseball. I will say, especially that Dodgers Padres series. Especially the Tigers and Guardians. The Guardians opened that series up with a banger 7-0 on the Tigers. Kind of took them by surprise, and then Tigers had a great answer with Scooble putting the weight on his shoulders there and getting him a good start.
Yeah,
So
using
all these series have been actually pretty good.
profanity after the game, but hey, he'll probably be grounded
Hey,
for a
he's
while for Tigers. But hey,
it's okay.
in postseason play, I'm okay with it because in that moment, wasn't he? Wait, didn't he still have a no hitter at that point?
Yeah, I mean, dude pitched his butt off, 7 innings, only gave up 3 hits, no runs, 8 punchouts, no walks. I mean,
Yeah,
I
at that
think he
point,
deserves that at that
yeah,
point.
at that point, you can be like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna say whatever I want and not be accused or be held to a standard if I can't say anything.
Yeah, I think that was the least of his concerns.
Yeah, we've all been there before. Gotta let it drop out a little bit every once in a while.
Oh
Have some fun
yeah,
with it.
yeah, for sure. And then Kerry Carpenter, man, there's not much you could say about it. Massive 3-run jack in the ninth, kind of quiet the crowd a little bit, and then you just go out there and just close the door and tie
I
the
mean,
series up.
those Tigers, man, those like you can never count them out. They're
No,
they're they're a good team. I'm excited to see. I hope they beat the Guardians. Honestly, that's my pick out of that game.
I, Tigers
Right
they
up.
just keep surprising everybody.
Yeah,
I think we talked about it a couple last week, and that we really liked them beating Houston, but man, they're getting right at the right time.
yeah. Same thing. Same thing with the Royals. They're going in. They went into New York and tied it up. That was huge. Uh, you know,
Shoot, they should have won
speaking
the
of New
first
York,
game.
yeah. Speaking of New York, Aaron Judge has got to get going, man. Like if they want to have a chance, like he got to get going. And on top of that, John Carlo, he just cannot run. Like it was just.
Stanton's old.
I mean, yeah, but isn't he still injured or something like that? Like he's playing through something or whatever.
He may be, but I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% sure, but the way I mean, he just I mean, I applaud him for playing through if he's hurt, but man, he is slow. I think I
Yeah,
could run faster than him.
especially for an outfielder.
Yeah, like seriously, like I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
I don't know. I really like what the Royals are doing. They lose the game first series game, and then they come out and answer again with a 4-2 win. I mean,
it's huge.
granted, the Yankees struck first, and then the Royals got all their runs in the fourth inning, and then bullpen did the rest of the work. I mean, Jazz Chisholm, he finally got his first career postseason home run. So, congrats to that man right there. Congrats to Jazz Chisholm on that one for a huge accomplishment. But I mean, still, the Royals, I think they're just the better team here. They're definitely a well-rounded team. I still think uh, Bobby Witt's still the guy for them, and I think they're just going to keep rolling here and hopefully take a game tonight.
Like you said, though, they got hot at the right time, and
Yeah,
it's being proven that all the teams that have played in that wild card round are getting hot at that right time. Because if you look at it, especially in the NL too, is like, so the Mets are up 2-1 against the Phillies, and the Padres are up 2-1 against the Dodgers. The Phillies and the Dodgers both had that first round bye, and so did the Yankees and the Guardians. I'm not saying the
yeah.
Guardians. I mean that they're the Guardians and the Yankees are still tied at 1-1 right now. Obviously, they play tonight. Um, but like it's just crazy to me that like you the first place teams are all going down in the series, and you can tell it's like what are they doing? Like, is it just being on a bye week that like and them not doing much and
I
just
mean,
like
it
hanging
could
out
be.
or what? Like,
It could be. I mean, it happened last year. We saw where the Rangers and Diamondbacks, two teams that nobody thought they would make out of the wild card, and the Rangers went on some crazy streak, 11-0 on the road in the
yeah,
postseason. Like, okay, and then the Diamondbacks came out of the whole NL, defeating the Phillies, Dodgers, all of them, and it's just like, okay, sure.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It's fun to watch, like especially, but I'm excited for it because it'd be awesome to have the Mets and Padres playing in for the CS, and have the Tigers and Royals playing for the CS over there in the AL.
that would be a crazy,
That would
crazy
be
wild card.
that would be
Or not wild card, but
crazy.
yes, yeah.
Like, especially because like okay. So let me ask you this: for the Yankees case, right? Let's say that the Royals go in there and they beat the Yankees and they move on. At what point is there something that is like going on with the team at that point that is like, okay, we perform so well in the regular season, but then we get to the postseason, it's like we forget how to play baseball? Or
You
is
know,
it Aaron Boone's fault? What do you think?
I mean, there's a lot of things you could probably blame for New York not being able to perform in the postseason, especially after winning 27 championships. And so, I don't know. I think it's just a combination of things. You look at some of these other teams, like the Rangers, the Royals, the Mets, the Orioles. Yes, they have veteran guys, but they also have the younger guys stepping up. I feel like the Yankees are just so talent based. They don't really have anybody that's stepping up as a young guy. I mean,
Yeah,
You have Anthony Volpe. He's better this year than he was last year, but I just feel like they don't have all those pieces together, and so I think they're just going to continue to struggle because they just don't have those minor pieces. They don't have that leadership quality as a team, and they just think, oh, we can just buy everybody and we can just build a super team. And we've seen that in almost every single sport that doesn't work.
yeah,
So I don't know. I feel like the Yankees are just missing quite a few things. I mean, obviously, power sometimes works over those minor mistakes, but when it comes to postseason, I feel like that's kind of where all the big pieces come together, and it's kind of
yeah,
exposing them a little bit.
yeah. And it's just they have Aaron Judge, right, who is their captain, and everybody knows it. And dealing with the comment, just straight up fighting words. I mean, Dylan, what we're saying is straight truth, buddy. I mean, the Yankees have not proven to be a postseason team, and they play really well in the regular season, but then for some reason when it gets to postseason time, it's just like they just. But back to my point, like Aaron Judge is their captain, right? And it's just like you need him to be that leadership guy. Not saying he isn't, but when he's sitting there and when he's struggling, that kind of like I feel like if he struggles, then the rest of the team is going to follow suit. And like him and Juan Soto are the two big time guys that are there. Not saying Jazz Chisholm isn't, but like those two are the big guys that that's their focal point. And when those two struggle, you can tell the rest of the team is just going to follow along with it.
Yep. I mean,
and so it's just
yeah. I mean, Judge isn't really doing what he's been doing all season. I mean, granted, dude, Judge is a really good player. I'm not discrediting him in that at all. I'm just saying they relied on him so heavily to produce so much offense for them. The offense has kind of gone quiet almost. I mean, 2 runs. I mean, granted, the Royals pitching staff is on fire right now. You're limiting the Yankees offense to 2 runs. Like,
yeah,
hats off to you on that. I just feel like you need more players stepping up, like Anthony Volpe, Jazz Chisholm, like some of your younger guys, instead of just relying, okay, I need Judge to hit a home run here. I need Judge to hit a home run here. I need Stanton to hit a home run here. Like, especially you don't have Anthony Rizzo anymore in the lineup. He's hurt.
Yeah,
for the postseason.
Sad to say.
But I mean that's your guys that got on base. So I feel like they're not getting guys on base. They're just relying on the long ball too much.
I 100% agree. I think that they need to bring back they need to get runners on. They need to get runners in scoring position. And then the long ball is obviously going to help. But if it's Aaron Judge and he goes up there and hits a solo home run, that really does nothing for you. And so it's just you gotta have guys on base, especially when him and Juan Soto are coming up in the lineup. You gotta have the bottom half like really start to be like, okay, we have to get on base, because then at that point it puts pressure on the pitcher to make a perfect pitch, and then he's going to leave something over the middle of the plate, and Aaron Judge is just going to capitalize on that. And so it just they got it. The bottom half of the lineup needs the help too. So, but they're struggling a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see how they come back tonight, and because they're in Kansas City tonight, aren't they?
Yep, they're in Kansas City now.
Which winning on the road is tough in postseason play. But hey, the Royals did it. Not saying the Yankees can't do it, but hope that the Royals just go in there and win 3 straight games real quick. I know Dylan's gonna say something.
You're gonna have this man have fighting words on here.
I'm sorry, but if my team's out, Dylan, your team's next, buddy. JP's team's out. We're all gonna struggle through postseason together.
Oh, we never made it. We decided to take an off year after the World Series.
Yeah. Don't worry, buddy. Being a Cubs fan, it's like we had 2016, and then all of a sudden it was like, Then this year, hey, the Cubs were making a postseason push. At the end of it, they fell short. Like we needed to win a few more games down the stretch and have the Braves and Mets lose. But the Mets, like we said, were just getting hot at the right time, and we can talk about them now because we'll talk about the other New York team and how they did last night against the Phillies.
The Mets, man.
Sean Manaea, he went out there and dealt last night. He went 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 6 Ks.
Yeah.
When you do that, and they were in Philly, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So going into Philly and doing that in a very hostile environment, that's a whole.
They were at home. They were at home last night.
Were they at home?
Yeah. It was game 1 or game 3, but game 1 in New York.
Oh, I thought they were in Philly. That's on me.
I mean, but
that's
on me. That's still a masterful performance. I mean, you can't ask for a better start, especially when your offense is lighting it up. I mean, Pete Alonso's hit his 3rd home run already in this postseason. Jesse Winker finally joined the home run group for the postseason.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting your batters hot at the right time. You're putting up runs. I mean, you couldn't ask anything better for a pitching staff and hit offensive standpoint. I mean, they're clicking. And it's going to be hard to probably stop them this rest of this postseason if they keep staying hot like this.
It'll be interesting to see, especially like you said, if they're getting hot, and they're gonna if they're gonna continue to do what they're doing right now, man, it's gonna be fun to see. Yeah. Everybody's expecting them to do like their normal. Oh, the Mets pulled being the Mets again, but they haven't done that so far. So it'll be interesting to see. On the other side of the ball, though, for the Phillies, Aaron Nola went 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, and 2 home runs.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, 4 earned runs, and that I was always told as a pitcher, if you can go out there and you can hold somebody to 4 or less runs, that gives your team the opportunity to go in, and it's not too far out of reach, and it's just you can get back in that game real quickly.
Yeah.
And so I mean he did his job. I mean I wish I would have liked to see him like to have seen him give up a little less run, like a little, but
I
it's
mean, he
post.
gave the Phillies a chance. I
Yeah,
mean,
especially
Pete Alonso home run in the second, home run in the fourth, and then 2 runs in the sixth.
yeah,
You had 6 innings to work with to get back in the ball game there, and
yeah.
you
And
couldn't push anything across to the eighth.
the thing is like the Phillies, the Phillies is that lineup that like they can hurt you 1 through 9, and like Bryce Harper's tearing it up like always. Kyle Schwarber with being a leadoff hitter. I mean, he's just
It's
you,
a
you
cheat
can't.
code, man.
I mean, he is such a cheat code. Like it's just one of those things, man. Like I was so upset when the Cubs let him go and traded him away, and I was like, I don't know about that move. And then next thing you know, he goes to Philly and just starts going on an absolute rampage. Because isn't he like he's like in my opinion, he's one of the best postseason hitters of all time. Like
He's getting
with
up
what
there,
he
that's for
like
sure.
just in his like short time, like he's already like proven to everybody that like he is a force to be reckoned with.
He's definitely clutch. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
If he's not, he's definitely climbing up the list if he hasn't already.
Especially being in a leadoff spot too. You wouldn't expect a power hitter being in leadoff, like,
No,
and because did I think it was what game was it? Was it game 1 or game 2 when he just absolutely unloaded on the first pitch of the game?
oh, that was game one.
Was it game 1? Yeah,
He lit off the game with a home run.
yeah. That's it. That's crazy. Like it just it's fun to watch. And then what I don't know. Castellanos was getting booed for a little bit. Did you see that?
Yeah, people Philly. I love how they say they have the best fan base, but good grief, this guy,
I mean,
you're watching the hardest sport out there, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah.
These
Put-
guys are the best of the best.
Yeah, like you can like it, yeah, you take like a baseball player and you put him in any different sport and he is going to be athletic enough to at least hold his own. You take somebody from like a football player or like a hockey player or just any other sport and you watch them try to do it and it's just like they look so uncoordinated trying to do it. And
Yeah,
like last year you had the Phillies fans that were booing Bohm because and
yeah,
then
he was like their best guy.
yeah. And then Castellanos gets booed. Trey Turner was on a slump. I mean, he didn't. They gave him it was earlier. It was earlier before postseason play, but they gave him like a standing ovation. Like they were all like supporting him, which uncharacteristic of the Phillies.
Hey,
Excuse me.
it's baseball though. You
It is
never know what's
baseball.
gonna happen.
Gotta love it though, man.
Trying to hit a round ball with a round bat. It's not
Yeah,
not that easy.
man. Do I miss baseball? I'm not gonna lie to you, buddy. Miss being out there, but it was baseball is it's gonna be fun to see how this shapes up. You want to talk about the Padres and Dodgers a little bit?
Yeah, man. I mean, that series just like Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao. I mean, good
It's
grief. Those guys are just throwing punches after punches at each other.
and then on top of that, you have the controversy of where Manny Machado threw a ball into their dugout, but if you watch the video, he threw it and it rolled. and and they all got mad at him and like causing like a big issue and everything and like I mean, but I guess like it's the Dodgers and Padres. Like they've
I
always
mean,
been. It's
yeah, I
always
mean,
been. It's always been like that. Yeah, Dylan, my shoulder doesn't miss playing baseball, buddy. My shoulder keeps thanking me every day I wake up.
oh
Dude, like
gosh.
like back to the Padres. Like Tatis is he went 1 for 4 last night, but he hit his 4th home run like of the postseason, which is he's he's tearing it up right now in postseason play too. So
Yeah, I mean, they're just both slugging it out. I mean, Mookie Betts finally got his first postseason home run of the season. I mean, Teoscar Hernandez got his first postseason home run. I mean, they're just lighting it up. But the one thing I really want to talk about from that game last night is the Padres bullpen. I mean, Michael King goes out there, he throws an okay game, 5 innings, 5 runs, but then the Padres bullpen just lights out. 4 innings, no runs, 1 hit through 4 innings. 1 hit. I mean, you can't ask for a better
Yeah,
lights out.
especially holding that Dodgers lineup that is one like buddy, if you look at the Dodgers lineup on paper and they should go out there and they should just steamroll every single team,
Yeah.
especially with Shohei. Like hell, they kept Shohei. He went 1 for 4 last night with 2 strikeouts.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Like when you
yeah.
can do that, that's like that sets the tone. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, especially with it being in San Diego
oh yeah, and
now.
it was. I think I saw something where this like last night was their most sold. Like they sold out last night, but they like, I think it was their most like capacity that they've had because they do the standing room out in the outfield,
Mhm.
and it was they there was nowhere to go. Like it was sold out, and it was their max capacity that they could go to, and it was awesome. It was awesome to watch.
Yeah, but another thing I wanted to highlight this is so yes, the 1 hit, they didn't have a single walk out of the bullpen. They had 6 strikeouts and
That's
no
awesome.
walks. No free passes for the Padres in the bullpen, and I think that's as a pitcher or as a pitching coach, I think that's awesome. I mean, your bullpen guys were ready to rock and roll. They came in, filled the strike zone up, and shut them down. I mean,
Yeah,
you can't ask. They didn't give them any hope and held that lead 6-5.
yeah, which is because they scored. So the Dodgers scored 1 in the first, 4 in the third, but the Padres scored their 6 runs in the second inning. So they didn't score a single run after the second inning, which is another credit to the bullpen. Like there wasn't a run scored after the third. So from the third on to the ninth, that's insane to hold that lineup to not a single to only 1 hit. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. And then let's see. Bueller for the Dodgers. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned runs, and 1 walk, and he had 0 strikeouts.
That's very uncharacteristic for Walker Bueller.
Yeah, and I understand he's been fighting injuries in the past couple months, seasons, and you gotta have him get back on track though. Like he was when he first came in the league, he was good, and then he got hurt, and then it was almost like he kind of fell off. And now you see like Walker Bueller's throwing, and it's like, oh, okay, like nothing special. But when as him, you gotta find that way back to being able to go out there and say, you know what, I'm gonna be the guy today, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it yesterday, and
Yeah.
it's postseason play, man. It's fun. It's a fun time to watch some baseball for show. For show. For show.
So yeah, for today's matchups, you got
Got all 4 games.
all 4 games today. You got Guardians and Tigers. They're going right now. Tigers are already
Tigers.
up 1-0.
Yeah, they're up 1-0 at the end of the first, which is go Tigers.
Tigers are looking good, man. And then you got Phillies, Mets. You got Ranger Suarez and Jose Quintana. I mean, that's another strong matchup. Quintana had a fantastic start against the Brewers in the wild card spot. And then for the Yankees, Royals, you got Clark Schmidt. And for the Royals, you got Seth Lugo. I mean, that's another sharp matchup. Royals are going to probably try to steal one there. And then Dodgers have yet to figure out who their starter is. And then Dylan Cease for the Padres. I mean,
Well, I have the starting pitcher for the Dodgers right here.
all right, who you
There,
got?
Landon Knack is who's going for the Dodgers tonight.
There you go.
He is 3-5 with a 3.65 ERA with 69 strikeouts.
Hmm.
So it'll be his. I want to
It's
say it's
going to
just
be a
kind of
short relief.
I want to say it's a filler because on my source of where I found that is the last date he threw was 9/29. So also
Well,
that's so what, September 29th,
yeah.
which was only a week ago, but I don't know. Being a pitcher, like you kind of it. I don't know. Maybe where who is what is their rotation looking like? The Dodgers. Do you know off the top of your
I,
head? Because I know
I
Bueller
don't
went
know off the
last
top of
night.
my head.
Bueller went last night. Let's see. Sun did they played Sunday? So did they? Yeah, they did play Sunday. Who went for them on Sunday? Let me check. Sorry for the pause, but would like to fact check myself before I just. Oh, and Flaherty, Jack Flaherty went on Sunday. So I mean, and then did they play? They played Saturday, and then Saturday they had da, 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 they
Yamamoto.
had who?
Yamamoto will probably most
Oh
likely
yeah,
get
yeah,
the
yeah,
start
yeah,
next game.
yeah. So you got Yamamoto, Flaherty, Walker Bueller, and I guess Knack is going to throw. So that's four. So I mean, I guess that's you look at their rotation, you're kind of like, man, like for the Dodgers, like that's kind of subpar. Like you see like all these big like you see these postseason teams that have their guy. Like the Tigers have Skubal, the Yankees have Rodon, and it's just like you have all these teams have their guy. And so I don't know. I guess here's the real question: will we see Shohei Ohtani pitch in the postseason?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Dave Roberts said it wasn't out of the question. And Ohtani's been throwing bullpens. Obviously, like that's part of his rehab. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, it's like he hasn't even thrown in a game,
okay, so
and you're
let me
just
ask
gonna
you.
throw him out here in a postseason.
Let me ask you this. Let's say you need a guy, a pitcher, to go out there, and you are right, Dylan. I forgot about Garrett Cole. I don't know why I slipped that. That's on me. It's been a rough morning, running on a couple hours of sleep. It's been a rough morning. Um, but yeah, like Otani though, if he, I could see him pitching like maybe like filler innings almost. Like, I don't know. I could see it, but at the same time, like I don't see why they would risk it. But
Yeah, I don't see they pushing him this year. I mean, I feel like if they rush his rehab, then they run the risk of, oh, we're going to hurt him again, and then now you're definitely toast
yeah,
because you hurt him again. Because I think this
real
was already second TJ.
yeah,
So
real quick little interruption. So we just said in the top of the second, the Guardians have runners on first and second with no outs. So that could be a high scoring game. We'll have
good.
to. I'm definitely going to turn that on after we're done here and see how that's going. But let's see what else we talking about today, JP.
I think we're gonna transition over to hockey now. I know it's kind of a
Oh,
different change of
ooh,
pace. It's hockey
little
season now, though.
little action on the skates, huh?
Yeah, a little puck drop action.
Little
I
puck
mean, we had
drop. Let's go see who wins the face off tonight, huh?
I mean, there was three games yesterday. The Seattle Kraken and the St. Louis Blues started us off yesterday. Kraken took the loss yesterday, 3-2 to the Blues, and so I just wanted to point out one of the Blues guys uh, was already a hat trick away in the first game of
The
the
first
season.
game of the season. That's insane.
Like, I mean, you can't ask for a better start to start your season right there. You get two goals. And yeah, I mean, there's not really much better. I mean, the only difference about this game was that the Blues took advantage of their power plays. I mean, granted, they were only 1 for 4, but
Yeah,
that 1 for 4 was the difference maker in tying or winning
yeah.
because the Kraken were 0 for 1. So I think that was kind of like the big difference between in that game. And then I don't know. The Florida Panthers, I mean, you got your Stanley Cup champions right there doing what Stanley Cup champions do. They they went in a barn burner.
Mm-hmm.
They won 6-4 over Boston. Boston's pretty solid. And then another guy, Sam Bennett, was another goal away for Florida from getting his hat trick. So that's two guys from two different teams already getting a hat trick almost on the opening night.
There was almost another hat trick in the Utah and Chicago game too. Dylan Gunther, he was
Yep.
1 goal away from getting a hat trick,
Yeah.
which would have been huge, especially for the Utah Hockey Club having their first ever franchise game, and here they come out and they won their first game ever, and then they have one guy who's a hat trick away. Like that's crazy. I mean, the Blackhawks, disappoint me once again and continue to lose. But hey, it's hockey. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Being a Chicago fan. I mean, you gotta take several losses before you can really feel good about your team. Like it's just like look at the Bears. The Bears have not been good. They're having a good season. The Bulls they've had decent seasons. The Cubs, they just continue to my lovable losers. Like, and then you got the White Sox who are just god awful, and then it's like, and then you have the Blackhawks who are just. I mean, it's hard. Sports are hard to be a fan for in Chicago.
I was actually shocked. I know. I was looking at the stat boards after the game. Utah and Chicago, they should have had a closer game. I
They should
mean,
have.
besides the one guy just going crazy, I mean, both teams were 0 for on their power plays. They
Yep.
both had practically the same amount of hits. They're the same shots on goal, and just like everything was similar. They had they had the same 30-30 face-off wins. And so that game should have been a lot closer. It's just the only difference was Utah was able to put it in the net more than the Blackhawks were.
Yeah, and to that point too, like Connor Bedard on the Blackhawks, like he is that guy that they are trying to build around. And I mean, he had 2 assists last night, but I mean, he's got to be able to score in my opinion too. Like
Yeah.
being a 19-year-old, like they are building around him and is very known.
Yeah. I'm ready for my Predators to do something this year. I know they had a very disappointing season last year, ending against
Yeah,
Vancouver in the first round. But I feel
they
like they
start
made
they
a lot
start
of
Thursday, so that'll
yeah.
be
They start Thursday conference game already, Dallas Stars,
yeah,
and then
it'll
uh,
be it'll be fun to watch. I'm a Blackhawks fan too, but I'm also a Preds fan. Like I, it's just being around it all the time. It was so it'll be. I'm hoping that the Preds can pull it out. I mean, it'll be a tough game, but it'll be fun.
oh yeah, Roman Yossi. Hope he has another fantastic season. Him and Philip Forsberg,
Yeah,
and then Stamkos is going to be hopefully good on the front end of that. Hopefully putting the puck in the net more times.
the peck in the neck,
Yeah, a little peck in the neck.
little peck of the neck right here.
But yeah, no. Hopefully the Predators can put the puck in the net. That'd be huge for that one.
Yeah,
So definitely a good start to the conference standings there.
yeah. Little
But
live update too, JP. I know we're talking about hockey right now, but the Guardians are now first and third with 2 outs. So
that pitching stuff, man. AJ Hinch. I mean, you can't say it enough. AJ Hinch has definitely got that team locked in. That pitching
yeah,
staff is definitely not pitched in a tough situation. So I mean, go Tigers,
yeah,
man.
there's a lot going on in the world of sports now, and it's keeps us busy, keeps us entertained. So
Yep. So,
Oh, man. Well, JP, is there anything else
is
you'd
that
like to talk about hockey-wise?
no? I mean, it's
I know we keep
just
bouncing back and forth, and it's kind of on me because I'm giving you live updates. But
it's all good. I mean, nothing really. I mean, just hockey season's back, baby.
yes,
A lot
sir.
of it's gonna be a long season. I'm ready to see what teams
Yeah,
step up. And it's just gonna be the same teams in the postseason again.
yeah.
So
Is there anything you want to recap over the weekend? I know you weren't on with us last night, and I didn't know if me and Dylan touched on anything that you thought about, but thought I'd give you the floor to say anything that you want to talk about from the weekend.
you know, I could sit here and harp on a bunch of things about what I saw Saturday in Fayetteville, Arkansas for Tennessee, but they just didn't look ready. I mean, I mentioned it Saturday. That was going to be their biggest test. Coming off that big bye and big win against Oklahoma, and I knew it was going to be a close game, but I didn't know they weren't going to be not ready at all. Arkansas
Yeah,
definitely was the more physical team. They were ready for that game, and in my opinion, Tennessee looked scared.
yeah,
I mean, flat and simple. Offensive line was confused, but getting behind the sticks way too early and often. Nico was not comfortable, and I think that's the whole reason why that game went the way it did. So, I
yeah.
mean,
They just
credit to
played flat.
Arkansas on that one.
Yeah, they played flat.
So, I mean, they
What do
brought
you
the energy.
What'd you think about the Vandy Alabama game?
You know, we give Vanderbilt a hard time for a good reason, but
I mean,
they took it to Alabama, man.
me
I
and
mean,
Dylan
props
were
to
watching.
Vanderbilt.
Me and Dylan were watching that game live, and I don't know what you were doing, but we you were working out. That's what it was. We were watching that game, and you had texted us, and I literally told Dylan, I was like, JP, don't you change anything you're doing right now. You stick with what you're doing. Me and Dylan will sit here and watch this game, and dude, it was fun to watch for sure. Um,
Yeah, uh, I mean, 0 for 60.
that
You're
nobody expected that. And I had told Dylan, I said the crazy thing is that we were talking about that game at the beginning of the day, and I was like, I had this feeling I was just gonna go and I was gonna go put money on or Tennessee, or not Tennessee, Vandy to beat Alabama, and I was like I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I want to do it. And then I was like,
yeah.
but when the game started, I was like, I should have done it. And then as soon as that happened,
Well, I mean, yeah, everybody's thinking that. Oh, I should have put money on Vandy to win
yeah.
that, but I mean,
But I had it, I
you just
had it,
don't
I had
expect
it
that.
queued, I had it queued and ready to go. I just had to press one button, and I didn't do it. And so,
I mean, Dylan did call it for his little shock pick there. He did say Vanderbilt was going to keep it somewhat close or give them a fight, but man, they gave them a fight, that's for sure.
yeah, somewhat close winning. I guess same thing, right?
Yeah,
Nobody
it,
expected that. That was,
no, not at all.
but like I said last night with Dylan, it's just one of those things that when Alabama loses, it was definitely one of those games that Tennessee had to have a must have, like should have won for sure. Because then
Yeah,
now, like look at Tennessee's remaining schedule. What, like, if we lose to Alabama and we lose to Georgia and we play Vandy at the end of the year too, and that's at
forget
Vandy.
that. I'm just trying to hope they win Florida.
Yeah, like, yeah, and we play Florida, and now, like, we talked about it. We're all nervous about Florida now, and so it's. I mean, we could potentially have 4 losses on the year at
Yeah,
least.
we could talk about that more on Saturday, but
Yeah,
yeah, that was just my take. The offense looked flat. Everything they just didn't look in sync, and it was
yeah,
very 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 sloppy.
very.
In
It was like,
the nicest way possible of putting it.
yeah, like we have our opinions off air that are not so nice, but they'll figure it out hopefully and steamroll Florida this weekend hopefully. So
Somebody's gonna have to do something.
yeah, something's got to change here, and
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to rock and roll.
yeah, I mean, I was when I was watching that game, I was sitting there, I was like, Coach, just get me in some pads. I'll do something. Like, they're not doing anything. What's going to change if I go out there and do nothing, right? So it's like I was like, man.
But, yeah, Jags got me a win finally.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie
Capped
to you,
off my
buddy.
week.
I was definitely rooting against them. I was hoping that the Colts were gonna do it.
Yeah, that's why I went 5-0 this week. Anyways,
Gotta we well I don't even know. It was a good game. It was a good game to watch as much as I could because Red Zone likes to you know
bounce around.
yeah not and like I said last night, the Red Zone wanted to keep watching the Patriots and Dolphins game, and I was like, nobody cares about this game when the Bills and Texans are playing. They're tied, about to go into overtime. You have the Colts and the Jags who are tied now after a 14-point comeback. And I'm sitting here
Oh,
watching
man.
the Dolphins and Patriots game, and the Patriots are down by 5, and I was like, nobody cares. I was like, put on the game that matters. But
Yeah.
it was fun. It was fun to watch.
But yeah, so alrighty, everybody. It was
You got
definitely
any
good to
final
talk.
thoughts? Oh,
No, I'm good.
all
I'm
right.
good.
Make sure y'all drop a like and subscribe to the channel so that we can keep doing this for you guys. It's all like always. It's been a pleasure. JP, I'll probably end up talking to you here in a little bit, but
Sounds good.
you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you guys on Saturday.